I do run a Love Sugar show, Instagram and YouTube, so I'll be the one interviewing
Awesome.
you. And I want to thank you for taking your time to interview with me today. How's it going?
Good. This is my last interview of the day.
That's exciting.
Yeah, what have you been doing all day?
Actually just working. I just got off work about an hour ago and that's really it.
Oh,
Nothing to say.
yeah. People are like, what do I do in my spare time? I'm like, nothing.
So, how do you feel now that the album has been completed?
Oh, relieved and confident and ready for people to hear it. I'm ready for haters because you can't hate it.
What do you think was the biggest challenge of creating this album?
Um, that's a good question. Probably traveling to record it and having everybody record their individual parts because we're on like four corners of the country. So Marco will do drums in Seattle, and then I'll do guitars in Florida, and Jeff is in San Jose, and Ray's in New Jersey.
Oh,
It's
wow.
it sounds crazy, but all the files fit together, and then they're mixed in Colorado.
Okay, so just kind of all over the place then.
Yeah, that does sound challenging now that I lay that all out.
Yeah, for sure. But if it works, it works. So,
Yeah, it works. Sounds good to me.
is there anything that you wish that you would have done differently with this album?
Man, I don't think so. Maybe take a little time on the guitar sounds, just so they're perfect. I think they're a little mid-rangey, but it does kind of have a German thrash, maybe early Pestilence feel, which is fine with me. Other than that, good to go.
Yeah, I think we're our own worst critics, so I don't think there is such a perfect because once you get that, you're maybe like, oh, maybe I can tweak it just a little bit more.
Yeah, you can keep tweaking and tweaking and never put it out.
Exactly. So, what was the first song that was written on the album?
Mm, I think it was Accomplished to Evil Deeds. Um, that one just came to me in a dream. It was actually me and Corpse Grinder in a shed in the woods, and he was killing people, and I was his accomplice. So, like, the whole thing was laid out. So, when I woke up, I just remembered it all and started writing the song.
That's quite a dream to have for sure.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't like a bad dream. It was like maybe I miss Corpse Grinder.
Is there any other songs inspired by dreams on this album?
I should get the album. Hold on. I know
Yeah.
there's one more. Unless it's the new stuff I'm writing. Let's see. Ugh. No, nothing. Ascension. Ascension is my take on Macbeth because I found a vinyl copy of Macbeth by Shakespeare.
Hmm.
Not like verbatim, but it was like, man, this is pretty violent with like murderings and beheadings and everything. So I was like, death metal. There you go, death metal.
Yeah.
He's impulsive. I think maybe compulsive was because that's one where you're trapped in an insane asylum or an infirmary, and you're the only one there, and you're left there, and what are you gonna eat? Yourself. So, I think that was either like stuff will come to me if I'm like zoning out or in dreams or whatever. But most of it's like true crime.
Yeah, I feel like I'm seeing a theme for this album right now.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like the end of the human race, or all at once, or one at a time.
You get
That's
to pick.
that's why Chris came up with the title "Killing for Revenge." He was like, "Dude, these are pretty violent songs."
Yeah, for sure.
hmm
So how do you feel this album compares to previous albums that the band has done?
Totally different, and it stands on its own. It's a bit of a continuation from Nightmares of the Decomposed as far as songs like Amputator or Zodiac from that album.
Hmm.
I didn't have the tools to write like I do now back then. Like I would rewrite the last album completely
Mhm.
different. It's like 6 Feet Under's had so many different writers. Like the early stuff is Allen West, and he was in Obituary, so it's got that feel. And Rob Arnold wrote a lot, and so there was a Steve Swanson era, which was thrashy. So I
Mhm.
think I'm going back to like old Cannibal Corpse style. Just that's what came out.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really like that too. So I think fans are really going to love this album as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I can't think of anything bad on it that you would skip over. I don't.
So what else can fans expect to hear on this album?
Oh, well, we did the cover of Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. We had everything written, and Chris was like, Metal Blade wants a cover, and I was like, I don't know. And Chris was like, Hair of the Dog, and I was like, cool, that's a awesome song. So it was easy to demo it, and later on, we were like, why did we do it exactly like the original? It's basically like karaoke with Chris singing, but I guess it's do it that way or totally blast it or something.
Hey, as long as you
But
got
as
it,
far as
sounds good.
here on this album, man, everything from true crime, violent fiction to true story to Shakespeare to musically, everything from Black Sabbath, stoner rock to thrashy to modern blast. Uh, I guess it was a conscious effort on my part to write the music like
Mhm.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, that kind of covers everyone. So, I mean, I
Mm,
listened to the album, I thought it was great. So, I
cool.
think you
Thank you.
got it covered. So, what do you hope the fans take away from the album?
Oh, I hope they like it and it can be a album that they play over and over. I really haven't gotten sick of any of it yet. Because when you write it, you listen to the song, who knows how many times, 5,000 times maybe by the time it's out. So I still enjoy listening to it, and hopefully it sticks around for a while and becomes a classic.
Yeah, I know we were talking about the song Hair of the Dog, and it just sounds like that song sounds very, very different from the rest of the album. Like
Yeah.
when I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, this one sounds very different.
Yeah. Well, I think that's from like 1974 or something.
Yeah.
I always liked the song and I thought it was hard to play, but when I started learning it, I'm like, it's just like blues. So no problem doing it.
Yeah, are you
We could have
happy
made
with
it heavier.
are you happy with the song selection for Hair of the Dog that was selected for the album?
Yeah, I can't think of a cover that I would rather do. Um, like if we were gonna do Kiss songs, we could do that, but I'd rather do like a whole album of Kiss songs.
Oh
Just
yeah.
'cause I like them as a kid. Like it's a love or hate kind of group, so who knows with that. But
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I always like this song and a lot of stuff by Nazareth.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a favorite song on this album?
Neanderthal. That's one of the two like doom Sabbathy songs that I wrote.
Hmm.
Like I wrote a bunch of fast stuff, and then I took like a 2 week break and wrote two doom songs, caveman songs I call them. And of course, I was like I'm done with the first one. I'm like, sounds like a caveman. So Neanderthal.
And
And
is that why it's your favorite?
yeah, yeah, I like
Okay.
that. I can always play that one. It's totally cool.
So how have you grown as a musician from previous albums into this one?
Hmm. I probably haven't like technique wise, but maybe songwriting wise, that's a little more important to me. Like heaviness and technicality and speed have all been reached by like other bands. And
Hmm.
I think of a live situation when I'm writing. See if something could go over good live, then it's probably good in any format. So yeah, I practice to keep my speed up, but uh I should be learning new things, but I'd rather just write.
Hey, whatever makes you happy. I mean, writing's always great too. Like you said, other stuff has been done by other people, so sometimes you just gotta do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I hate learning.
I feel like I can. I feel that right in my heart.
I know, learning sucks.
So, do you have any predictions on what song will be a fan favorite from this album?
Oh wow. I'm getting good feedback on When the Moon Goes Down in Blood. Everyone likes that one. They pick it out because it sounds like old Cannibal. Like Butchered at Birth came out in 1992, and me and Chris were thinking, "Hey, we should have a song kind of like that." So
Mhm.
death metal fans will love it, and Cannibal fans will recognize it probably, the style. So
Yeah,
far, that's the one that's standing out.
okay. Well, let's see if you're right once the album comes out.
Yeah, that's gonna be the third single, I think, on release day.
So, what do you kind of do to help you recharge after you finish an album?
Hmm. Listen to it some more.
It's just calming.
I mean, yeah, we do the mixes, and all you do is listen and listen, and then when you're done, it's like, hey, let me put that on again. And then you get the copies from the label. It's like, hey, let me listen to that again. But yeah, I mean, it's not like a cool down period, and now it's like ramping up towards the release, and it's like, let's listen to it some more. Cooling down, I'd probably just take a nap.
That's the best answer I've ever heard, honestly. I love naps.
Yeah, learning sucks. Take a nap.
Hmm.
Sounds
For
like
sure.
sounds like a Guar album.
So just an estimate, how many times do you think have you listened to this album?
Uh, 30, 30 days in a month, and we've been working on it for a year and a half, so it's got to be like once a day. So,
At least 30 times.
yep, 30 times 18. I can't do that math. See, I didn't learn math.
It's fine. I think a lot of people don't really like math, so you're not alone.
Yeah, let's put it at a lot.
Yeah. So if you had to describe this album to someone who hasn't heard it in 3 words, what 3 words would those be?
Brutal, violent fiction.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, kind of sums. Well, I don't know if they're music fans or the death metal fans or an alien. So, I think that would sum it up.
And what's next for the band?
Put this out, and hopefully everyone likes it around the world, including booking agents, and we can get out on the road. We've got some ideas floating around, but nothing's confirmed yet. So hopefully, when it's confirmed, there will be a promo blast on it.
Yeah, I'm sure fans would love that too. I know for me, I love going to live shows. There's just something about live shows that you just can't get from a CD.
Totally. Yep. It's like the most pure sound of the band.
Hmm. That is true. Plus, you're in a room full of people who love the same music as you, so what's better than that?
Yeah. Who's better than metal fans? They pick you up when you fall down
Yep,
and buy you a beer.
for sure.
Yeah.
So I do have just one last question here for you. Is there any final message or anything you'd like to say to your old fans, new fans, or anyone that's interested in listening to the album?
Man, we just like to thank all the fans for like decades and decades of support. I mean, we couldn't continue and go on without them. So thank you, and hopefully we see them all soon.
Yeah, well, thanks again for doing this interview. And again, can't wait for the release of the album Killing for Revenge that comes out on May the 10th.
Cool. It's like gonna be Christmas.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for doing this interview and enjoy the rest of your night. I know you said this was the last one for you, so yay.
Yep. Nap time. No, not really. All right. Take care. Take care. Have a good one.
You
Thank you.
too. you.